Okay, welcome everyone to the 2025 Annual Reorganization Meeting, the Haldane Board of Education. Would please stand for the pledge.
Big flag, little flag. Big flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Trustee Clements? Here. Trustee Valentine? Here. Trustee McNally?
Here.
Trustee Cupper? Here. So at this point, we're going to swear in the new superintendent of schools, Dr. Gail Duffy. If you'd like to go to the podium. And raise your right hand, please. Okay. I'm ready to start.
Yeah. I, Dr. Gail Duffy, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of the Superintendent of the Haldane Central School District according to the best of my ability.
I, Megan Shields, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of District Clerk of the Haldane Central School District according to the best of my ability.
Next. Do I need to go up next? Okay.
So now we'll have the swearing in of new Board of Education members, and Sean McNally will reaffirm his oath.
Great. What am I swearing?
Like.
Just raising my hand.
Like.
I, Sean McNall, trust me, I, Sean McNall, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of the Haldane Board of Education. Trustee, according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the election of officers of the Board of Education. May I please have a nomination for President of the Board of Education?
I would like to nominate Peggy Clements.
May I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
The gratitude. Should she accept this responsibility?
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, congratulations, Peggy.
Yay.
I got it.
And that's on its way, so.
Oh,
Right.
great. Okay. So actually,
Should we wait?
nope, you can go ahead. Yep.
I, Margaret Clements, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of the Haldane Board of Education President according to the best of my ability.
Thank you.
Thanks, Peggy.
Oh, and now I take over, sorry. Because I'm now the president. Okay, so now we're gonna move on. I think it's fine for us to go ahead and nominate and vote on VP. Ezra says he's coming back in. I think he'll be walking in the door
Okay.
any second, and then we can go back to that. All right, so may I please have a nomination for the position of vice president of the board?
I will nominate Trustee Maggie Valentine for this duty and responsibility. Gladly, happily, joyfully.
And I'll second. Yeah. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
My third.
Okay.
I, Mary Maggie Valentine, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Haldane Board of Education Vice President according to the best of my
Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think I mean, I actually don't have, next is the comment from the school board president. Mine are actually really quite short. The main thing is just a deep, sincere, warm welcome to Dr. Gail Duffy, who it's her first day, but as we've talked about in other meetings, this is actually Gail's 7th or 8th day visiting the district. And so we're so appreciative of you and I have met a couple of times as well. We're so appreciative of the fact that you're here with us, but also that you've devoted so much time in balancing multiple responsibilities to help make this transition as productive as possible. So welcome to Haldane.
Thank you.
Like the blue dress, the blue name tag. It's good. It's a good first day. And then the only other thing I'll say is that in terms of upcoming meetings for the summer, the Board of Education, we're going to have our retreat on July 29th at 5 o'clock here in the middle school, high school library. Again, as our retreat was last year, just so the public knows, we're just focusing on planning and moving forward and developing our relationships and our plans and our sort of guiding principles as we move forward into the new year. I think this will be an exciting year for Haldane. And then, as is typical, we're going to not meet much over the summer, but we'll then have 2 meetings in August. One will be a very brief meeting via Zoom, but also open to the public on August 19th. And this will be to set the tax levy limit. There's a deadline by which we need to do that, but to accommodate last minute hiring and other sort of financial and business things that the district needs to take care of before the school year, like students join us for the school year. We'll meet in person at a business meeting on August 26th at 7 o'clock here at the middle school, high school library. Okay. All right, so we're going to jump back in our agenda a little bit, which is to ask Ezra to come up and take his oath.
It's properly dripping.
I don't know.
Got baptized on the way.
There's a copy.
Oh, good thing.
A dry.
So, here we go. There you
All right. Do I just start?
go. Just start.
I, Ezra Clemenson, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Haldane Board of Education Trustee according to the best of my
So next on the agenda is something that we always do at our reorganization meeting, which is to hold a public hearing for the code of conduct and then a public hearing. There's separate public hearings for the code of conduct and the extracurricular. They are, even though one
It
is.
can be one in the
Let's
same.
do it one, because
It's
now-
under one.
It
heading.
is. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think then it's one. So I am now opening the public hearing for the Haldane Central School District Code of Conduct for the 25-26 school year. One thing just for the public hearing is to thank that committee that meets every year and always works hard to make sure that the language is updated to reflect regulation and law and policy, as well as the district's goals for our students' code of the conduct. So if there's no comments, then I'm going to close public hearing, and the board will act on approving the code of conduct later in our meeting. Comments from Dr. Duffy, is there anything you'd like to say?
Sure. So first day here, but as Peggy mentioned, I feel like I've been here for a bit of time, having been appointed in March. It's been a wonderful experience so far. Everyone's been very welcoming. I just want to thank Megan publicly for just hitting the ground running with me as she's transitioning with Carl leaving and me starting. So she's been wonderful. So thank you for that. Had the chance today to walk around the buildings with our new director of PPS and see our first day of ESY. And while we were walking around, we saw Julia doing all of her things in the main office of high school and also Marianne at the middle school. So even though school is out, there's still a lot of energy and lots of different things going on within the buildings. Getting ready to start my entry plan meetings. So just for the board and the community, I'll have a chance to meet over the summer individually with each of the board members and then also each of the admins, just to get a sense from your perspective, all things happening. So I'm looking forward to that. And then there'll be opportunities within the school year to meet with the rest of the community and do the same type of thing. So great first day. I'm feeling all the feels and just looking forward to continuing to work with everybody.
All right, so next on the agenda are information reports. So those are the financial reports that we will act on at our next business meeting, so at the very end of August. Next on the agenda is the Board of Education minutes. So this is a consent agenda item. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from our June 17th meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So next, as is typical for a reorg meeting, we have quite a few items that we'll be approving on the consent agenda. Oh no, actually, this first bit, we did a lot last time. So some of these, it's a mix of approving the most recent set of financial reports as well as some other approvals. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
And next, actually, here's now where we hit a whole bunch. So a bunch of personnel appointments. On this next consent agenda set. So may I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
If there's anything really to call out, I looked through all these. All the folks in all the roles that we need to run a school district. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And next, in a similar way, a number of designations for various roles over the course of the 25-26 school year. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And authorizations. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And next is rate of pay and reimbursement. For things like summer workers, substitute, election worker rates, all the things you'll need for the coming school year. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? And next, we're moving into unfinished business. So the first piece on this is the approval of the revised Board of Education meeting and workshop schedule. And actually, some of these we've already talked about, right? So changing the August 19th meeting to a brief meeting, moving the August 19th business meeting to the 26th. And then as we've actually really kind of already talked about, and I think approved,
This
what's
is just
is different with that?
so we already approved the calendar. This approves the fact that these bullets are exceptions to the first and third Tuesday.
Okay,
Gotcha.
okay, that's what okay. So it's because what we did just a second ago is say that we're going to hold our meetings on the first and third, and this is pointing out those exceptions, which we've already talked about in public. Okay,
Yes.
All right, so may we have the recommended action?
Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby approves the following changes to the dates for their meetings. August 19th, brief virtual meeting to set the tax levy limit. August 19th business meeting is moved to August 26th. There will be single meetings in November and December, and the February 17th workshop meeting is moved to February 24th.
We have a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next on the agenda is the second reading and this time the adoption for the policies that we talked about last time, which is notification of disclosure of employee disciplinary records, as well as the use of internet-enabled devices during the school day. May we have the recommended action, please?
Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby adopts the following Haldane Central School District policies as attached: 3311 and 7316.
We have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Just to flag, a couple interesting things. I thought, the main thing about the notification of disclosure, the only change is that when foiled, the district will provide written notification to the affected employee. And then for the internet-enabled devices, the main thing that I wanted just to flag is it really kind of leaves it open-ended to like store and on-site storage areas and the district will communicate all of that to the parents. Parents will be notified in writing of methods available for contacting students during the school day. We are prohibited for suspending students just for accessing their device during the school day. And the school needs to publish an annual report detailing enforcement of the policy. So these are just things that I thought for the good of the board to highlight.
Thanks very much. And I know that there are plans to be working on this during this year.
Yes.
I mean, not just in the summer in preparation for the school year.
Ongoing.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be ongoing. Yes, I'm sure there will be modifications. Okay. Anything anybody else has that they want to know? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And that was the only item of old unfinished business, and now we're moving to new business starting with the CSE, CPSE recommendations. May we have the recommended action, please?
Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby approves the recommendation of the Committee on Preschool Special Education and Committee on Special Education as presented below.
May we have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And moving on to approving the Haldane Central School District Code of Conduct for the 25-26 school year. May you have the recommended action, please?
Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby approves the Haldane School District Code of Conduct for 2025-2026 as presented.
We already had the public hearing, so I think we can just move into approving it. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And for the approval of the Haldane Central School District Extracurricular Code of Conduct.
Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby approves the Haldane School District Extracurricular Code of Conduct for 2025-2026 as presented.
May we have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And finally on the agenda is the approval of the bond resolution to purchase the student transportation vehicle, which was the big bus that the public voted on in May. Recommended action, please?
And this is a roll call. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby approves the attached resolution authorizing the purchase of a student transportation vehicle for the Haldane Central School District at Phillipstown, Dutchess, and Putnam Counties, New York, at an aggregate maximum estimated cost of $205,000, and authorizing the issuance of $205,000 serial bonds of said school district to pay the cost thereof. I'm going to do a motion.
Oh, yes, may we have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Now voting. Okay. President Clements?
Yes.
Vice President Valentine?
Yes.
Trustee Clemenson?
Yes.
Trustee Cupper?
Yes.
Trustee McNabb?
Communication from the public. Move into board reflections. Does anybody have anything they want
I send my apologies for not attending either of our meetings in June because I was otherwise occupied with my night job. Sometimes it gets in the way, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I did watch them. So it's okay.
Reviews are good, I believe,
Yeah.
right?
But thank you so much.
Another example of how, fitting in board services can be challenging at times.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Thanks, Sean. Any final thoughts from you?
Looking forward to day 2 tomorrow.
I move to adjourn the meeting. May we have a second, please?
Take it.
All those in favor?
Aye. Thank